In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-696-1030. Again, 800-696-1030. That's 800-696-1030. 800-696-1030.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
All writers are prone to becoming so attached to our characters and stories that we struggle to see why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing to full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, shaping stories into masterpieces that can stand the test of time. Editing services are provided for all genres and all age categories. Services range from critiques of the short story through to line edits of the full-length novel and copy editing for those preparing for publication. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites, as well as help with those book blurbs and promotional material. We won't abandon you to the masses. We want to celebrate with you in your successes. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services and prices, visit us at blackwolfeditorial.com.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-610-9050. That's 800-610-9050. 800-610-9050.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it, there to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 $3 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Is debt beating you down? You need discipline. You need the Debt Ninja. If you've been caught in a financial trap and need to be set free, then you need the Debt Ninja. Want to stop those harassing collection calls, start saving thousands in interest and fees, and get out of debt fast? Then you need to call the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja will find the best companies across the country that will help you consolidate all your bills into one easy payment, reduce your payments by 30 to 50%, and get you out of debt fast. If you have unsecured debt of $10,000 or more, such as credit cards, loans, or medical bills, call the Debt Ninja for a free 15-minute consultation.
Call 800-826-1246. 800-826-1246. That's 800-826-1246. Call today.
The Debt Ninja.
Defending liberty 1 hour at a time and broadcasting live from the RWB Network studios in New York City. This is the Ryno Report. Always right.
You want answers. I want the truth. You can't handle the truth.
I've now been in 57 states. I think one left to go.
We are going to raise taxes on the middle class.
What you've just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
You are very rude.
We are going to make America great again. USA! USA! USA!
Fellow Americans, let's roll.
And now, here's your host, the Ryno.
New sheriff in town.
Hello, hello, hello. I am the Ryno, and this is my report today, Thursday, September 15th, 2016. And we are coming to you from the RWB Network studios in the People's Democratic Republic of New York and live on CRN Digital Talk Radio. Did you guys see the video of this, moon balloon rolling down the street in China? I couldn't believe it. It looked like a big moon rock or something, just rolling over cars and people. It was like a scene out of Raiders of the Lost Ark. It turns out it was a decoration for some kind of mid-autumn festival in China. I don't know what that would be a decoration of. If their pumpkins look like moon rocks, they're doing something really, really wrong. But it was pretty funny. If you have a chance, look it up on YouTube. Look up Moon Blob China. It'll pop right up. All right, today's headlines. First, 3 Phoenix, Arizona cops are recovering after being targeted by a maniac behind the wheel in a gas station parking lot. But their heroic actions have been totally ignored by the Obama White House. We will not ignore them. Also, the mother of career criminal Eric Garner is now speaking out about how much money police officers make. We'll talk about why she's upset, and then we'll talk about how much money she's made over the last 2 years. And the Obama administration has now upped the amount of refugees it wants to bring in this country starting as soon as next month. Is this a real move, or is it a political bluff? All that, plus we'll go over both candidates' medical records because we have our medical license here on this show now. We'll also discuss who's climbing to the top and who's falling to the bottom of the cable news ranks. And it's Thursday, so that can only mean one thing. It's time to go pole dancing. With only 54 days left to go, is the map about to drastically change. All that, plus your daily dose of common sense, you can only find here on the Ryno Report, Monday to Friday, 5 days a week, 2 p.m. Eastern. But first, let's kick the show off the same way we always do, with a salute to our country with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. remember to send me your recording of you guys saying the Pledge of Allegiance, hopefully standing while you do it, and you can send it to Ryno, R-Y-N-O, at rwbnetwork.com. If you want to write for the site, write for the website, RynoReport.com, you can do that too. Send your article to that same email address, Ryno at rwbnetwork.com, and we'll get you published up there. We have a couple of other ones coming soon. People are working hard on them, so we're not going to pressure them. Also, follow me on Twitter, at Ryno on Air, at Ryno, R-Y-N-O, on Air. We're on Facebook, facebook.com/The Ryno Report. And again, we have this book club coming. I promise. It's coming. I'm going to put the site up this weekend. So any book suggestions you have for the Ryno Book Club, we are renewing our interest in that. So send me those. Same email, Ryno at rwbnetwork.com. Hang in there, guys. We'll be back in just a minute. So you've missed the healthcare deadline and don't have any form of healthcare? Liberty HealthShare has the answer. Liberty HealthShare offers an affordable healthcare option that allows Americans to enroll any time of the year. For those of you who have already enrolled but just aren't satisfied with what you've chosen, there's still hope. Liberty HealthShare allows Americans to control, manage, and direct their health care, yet still be in good standing with the Affordable Care Act. Members are exempt from the tax penalty and mandates imposed on individuals for not having health care insurance, thus giving you freedom from insurance. Liberty HealthShare empowers their members by giving them the ability to choose any doctor or hospital across the nation. Memberships are for individuals, couples, and families, offering a variety of options to best suit an individual's medical needs. If you're a freedom-loving American like myself, looking for contract-free health care, then this is for you. For more information on how to enroll at any time of the year, call 855-585-4237 or visit libertyhealthshare.org to request a free estimate. Do it today. Alright, guys, thanks for hanging out with me today. You can always find the old episodes of this show on iTunes, TuneIn, Spreaker, Stitcher, Podbean, and iHeartRadio. They're all there, every single one of them, or RynoReport.com has them all. You know, I'm going to make a few changes to the website this weekend, I promise. I know I always say I'm going to change it in the weekend, and then life gets in the way, but we're going to start adding show notes to the website, and I do want to get this book club up and running, because there are so many good books out there. It's like I hear about a new one every single day. So we want to get the book club up, and we'll have a little message spot there where you can comment on the books and a place for you to go buy the books from the author's website, and it'll be good. It'll be good. So if you have any suggestions, send me the suggestions. We'll have like the normal ones up there you guys have been hearing about for the last couple of months. But if you have anything that maybe people haven't heard of or you read and you thought was really, really good and you want to share it, give me the suggestion and we'll put it up there. So yesterday I said if you have coulrophobia, you shouldn't go to the southeastern United States. Now, coulrophobia, for those of you who don't know, who don't have it, obviously, it's the fear of clowns. That's what it is. And there are these creepy clown sightings happening all over the place. There just seems to be a lot of them in the southeast for some reason. Now, there was this report out of LaGrange, Georgia, that police were investigating some Facebook posts about these clowns that were in a white van and trying to lure kids into the van or into the woods or something like that. Now, that's creepy in and of itself. You add the clown thing to it, now you've exceeded the creepy level. I mean, really bad now. So, a couple of people out of Hogansville, Georgia, thought it would be funny if they called in a prank call to the police saying, hey, there's a couple of people in a white van dressed as clowns, and I think they're luring children in. Now, the police didn't find it too funny. Sheriff's deputies showed up. This is the Troup County Sheriff's Office. They showed up, and what happened is there was a white van on the side of the street, and there were a couple of people in it, but they were just broken down. They're out of gas. So the couple that was driving by placed this prank call. I guess they were...
We now return to the Ryno Report live in progress.
So this guy, Mark Laquan, he's got a record already on file. He was arrested in 1997 for an assault on a law enforcement officer. Did 2 years probation. Okay? So that's where we are with this. And mainstream media, they covered it for what? What was it? 15, 20 minutes? That was it? Tops? Here you have somebody who just tried to murder 3 police officers. And then they were able to effect this arrest without using lethal force when lethal force was applied to them. A taser. That's what they used. Do you hear any heroic calls from the White House? Any heroic calls from mainstream media? Any heroic calls from Hillary Clinton? The bedridden Hillary Clinton. Anyone out there saying, you know what, these guys did a great job? Their boss, their family, their friends? Sure, absolutely. And we're saying it here. That's an amazing thing to do. For people who have maybe never put on the uniform or wore the badge, to be able to have lethal force directed at you and respond without using it, that is incredible. Absolutely incredible. And you hear nothing from the Black Lives Matter movement, right? Did they come out and say, you know, this guy targeting cops? But the way the cops responded after they were targeted was outstanding. No, that's how you know they're full of it. When you can't turn around and say, you know what, even though it may go against my ideology, I'm going to give credit where it's due. Sometimes you have to swallow your pride. There are a few times in this show I've said, hey, Governor John Bel Edwards in Louisiana prior to the flooding, has done some good things for that state. And of course it goes against my ideology to praise a Democrat, but I do it when it's right. You haven't heard BLM, the social justice warriors. Right now, the social justice warriors, they're talking about this kid who pulled a gun on a cop and then got shot. He had a BB gun. But in the 10th of a second you have to make that determination, the cop opened fire. That's why you don't pull guns on cops. Real guns, BB guns, pellet guns, water guns, it doesn't matter. You don't do it. Now, they have a tough time making the distinction between the right to bear arms and pulling a gun on a cop. They're two separate things. Two completely separate things. If you look at social media, what are they saying? Oh, well, we can own assault rifles, but this kid with a BB gun gets shot. When you have a permit to carry a handgun or you own a rifle, you know that you cannot point that weapon at a police officer. They are two completely different things. But the SJWs, for the most part, they can't wrap their small little minds around this. And you don't see them coming out praising these Phoenix law enforcement officers. You don't see BLM doing it. In fact, there's another assault on police right now that mainstream media is more than happy to cover. More than happy. They're talking about Eric Garner's mother. Eric Garner, of course, was the man in Staten Island a couple of years ago who was selling loose cigarettes on the street, was tackled, and happened to pass away from the injuries he sustained. There was no evidence of a chokehold, none of that stuff. We'll finish talking about that when we come back. Hang in there, guys. You're listening to the Ryno Report on CRN Digital Talk Radio.
It started at Bunko Night. A little tickle in my throat, says Sandra. Then comes Colin barking like a seal. That cough, that's the flu. And then it spreads to Edna, to Wiley, to Marjorie. But when it comes to your door, you won't be answering because you got your flu shot at Rite Aid, where they care about you and your health. So while they're seeing doctors and sweating through fevers, you'll be teaching your granddaughter the 2-deck shuffle. Shield yourself at Rite Aid before it's too late. If you're over 65, the CDC recommends flu and pneumonia shots. No appointments necessary, and they're free with Medicare Part B. Rite Aid. With us, it's personal. Flu vaccines available while supplies last. Age restrictions apply in some states. See pharmacy for details.
Come to Angelo's and Vinci's Ristorante in Fullerton, California for authentic family-style Italian dinners. Come to Angelo's and Vinci's and celebrate your party or event in one of our festive banquet rooms. Angelo's and Vinci's, Fullerton, California, 550 North Harbor Boulevard. Named the Orange County Hot List Top 5 Italian restaurant for 7 years in a row. And a Top 10 pizza restaurant by Gale, featuring traditional and award-winning pizzas. Offering Sunday champagne brunch from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., just $16.95. Choose from over 20 items, plus create your own personal omelet. Delicious lunches, including our express lunch buffet, $8.95 with over 15 items. And dinner 7 days a week. Getting married? Angelo's and Vinci's won this year's Wedding Wire Couples Choice Award. You can talk to our experienced staff of wedding coordinators. We treat you as guests at your own wedding reception. It's all at Angelo's and Vinci's Ristorante at 550 North Harbor Boulevard in Fullerton, California. Call 714-879-4022. 714-879-4022.
Federal tax fraud is set to hit $21 billion by 2016, up from just $6.5 billion 2 years ago. TransUnion just announced the launch of its Government Information Solutions Division to provide fraud, identity authentication, data breach response, and investigation services to help government agencies manage risk and reduce costs. Jonathan McDonald, Executive Vice President of TransUnion's Government Information Solutions Business Unit.
TransUnion's proprietary sets of credit, criminal, and public data, coupled with flexible analytics, help government agencies make informed decisions and ensure citizen safety.
Federal spending has skyrocketed, and government agencies are making significant investments to protect data entrusted to them.
TransUnion is well positioned to help government agencies identify fraudulent activities, detect when they are occurring, and investigate, prosecute, and prevent them from happening again.
For more, visit TransUnion's government blog feed or transunion.com/government.
Trying to sell your old car? Instead, donate your vehicle to Heritage for the Blind. Pickup is free, and your donation is tax deductible. Just call 1-800-785-9618. Heritage for the Blind accepts cars, vans, trucks, and boats, whether they run or not. Call right now and receive a free 3-day vacation voucher to over 50 locations. Call 1-800-785-9618. Donate your car today. That's 1-800-785-9618.
All right, guys, welcome back to this Thursday edition of the Ryno Report. Before we go pole dancing today, we're going to have to finish talking about a few things here. I want to keep talking about this Phoenix Police Department just for a second before we get into Eric Garner's mother, this is an absolute travesty, what she's saying. So I want to talk about that. But did you see Barack Hussein Obama stop campaigning yesterday or the day before for even 15 minutes to acknowledge how the police officers in Phoenix handled this situation? How many times have these liberal, weak, beta Democrats told us we have to have community policing and we want to take guns away and that's all they say. Community policing. No more shooting people. Well, here's an instance where nobody got shot. Did you hear anything from the White House about this? From the Clinton campaign? Nothing. It just proves that they don't even believe what they say. Nothing. It's an outright travesty. Barack Hussein Obama is culpable for the current war on law enforcement officers. 120% culpable. And here are 3 people that were well within their rights to end the life of Mark Laquan. Well within their rights. You couldn't even have debated that. I mean, people would have tried. They would have tried for sure. But it would have been undebatable. Unless they put 65 bullets in this guy, you wouldn't have been able to say otherwise. And they used a taser. And they fought him and they tackled him. That's how they handled it. That is professionalism of the highest order. I don't even know if I would have been able to do that. It's unreal. Nothing from Obama. Nothing from Clinton. Nothing. Well, let's kind of segue this into Eric Garner's mother. Eric Garner, the one who was caught selling the loose cigarettes in Staten Island. He was all of, he was like 500 pounds on the hoof, this guy. He was huge. So this small cop tries to take him down. There was no chokehold. No chokehold. He grabbed him and tried to take him down. The guy fell, wound up saying he couldn't breathe. Now, how you can say you can't breathe if you can't breathe, that would be a medical anomaly. Because it takes wind to be able to talk. All right? But let's not confuse facts with what happened here, because there's no room for facts. So anyway, the officer, Daniel Pantaleo, who was the one who took down Eric Garner, he's received something of a pay bump over the last 2 years. He made about $120,000 in the last fiscal year. And the issue they're having is because he's on modified duty. So they're saying he shouldn't make that much money because he killed their son, and she was standing with U.S. House Rep Hakeem Jeffries when she was making this statement. He shouldn't make that much money because this just encourages police officers to kill people randomly. That's the point they're trying to make. Now, if you're on modified duty, maybe you don't have your weapon, maybe you don't have your badge, whatever it is, you're working evidence, whatever you're doing. Maybe you're dispatching cars. I don't know. However NYPD works it. There's still overtime there. Evidence doesn't stop rolling in at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Calls don't stop going out at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. People call in sick. They take vacations. There's overtime. If there's overtime at McDonald's, there's overtime at a police department. But no. He shouldn't make that kind of money. They're forgetting the fact that he has to live with the fact that he ended somebody's life. They think it's so cavalier. Ending someone's life. They think it's a cavalier thing. Oh, well, cops, they're just trained to do that. They're trained to just end lives. These people are so misinformed. And when they open their mouths, it is so evident. So evident how low information they actually are. Yeah, he made overtime. And guess what? He's part of a union, so he gets raises too. Well, let's talk about what the Garner family got. Huh? Here you have a family that receives $5.9 million courtesy of New York City. She says, if it wasn't a police officer, this wouldn't be happening. Wouldn't be happening. He'd lose his job. He'd lose everything, but he's a police officer, so he's above the law. Right? Well, guess what? If it wasn't a police officer, you wouldn't have gotten $6 million either. How does that sound? There is no amount of money that can make up for the loss of a loved one. I get that. But there are amounts of money that mitigate what that person would have brought in over the course of the next 30 or 40 years. That's what settlements are for. Now, New York City gave them a settlement without even trying the guy, without investigating the guy, nothing. It was like 4 days later. All right, we're going to keep going with this when we come back, and then I want to talk about some new polls, and Donald Trump was rudely interrupted yesterday. We'll talk about that too. Hang in there, guys. You're listening to the Ryno Report.
You're experiencing pain, back pain, shoulder, elbow, or hand pain, pain from a sports injury. If so, schedule a visit with Dr. Michael Sheps, the leading expert in laser therapy for pain management. Call 310-873-4422 or go to drsheps.com. Experience Epic T, the breakthrough laser therapy system that Dr. Sheps developed to make you pain-free in less time. Laser therapy is a non-invasive, safe, and effective in-office procedure that penetrates deep into your skin without damaging the tissue. It perfectly targets areas of pain to promote fast, natural healing. Relax your muscles, ease muscle spasms, joint stiffness, and arthritis pain while increasing blood circulation. For over 25 years, Dr. Sheps has helped Olympic athletes and sports enthusiasts alike get back in the game. Schedule your visit with Dr. Sheps at his Brentwood office in California. Call 310-873-4422 or visit drsheps.com. That's DRSHEPS.com. 310-873-4422.
When you really want Italian food, you've got to get to Columbo's. Columbo's Italian Steakhouse and Jazz Club, Colorado Boulevard, Eagle Rock. It's that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. And when something's good, you don't forget how good something good really is. It's the little things that count, like Columbo's salads. They're fresh, crisp, cold, and delicious every time. Service that's friendly, not phony. Then there's Columbo's mouth-watering steaks. They're flavor-filled fish specialties and Columbo's crowd-pleasing Italian goodies, plus jazz every night. And don't forget the meatballs. At Columbo's, you can't forget how good something good really is, and it's all so affordable. That's why, when you really want Italian food, you've got to get to Columbo's, because it really is that little neighborhood place you wish was down the street from you. Columbo's. Mangia.
Federal tax fraud is set to $21 billion by 2016, up from just $6.5 billion 2 years ago. TransUnion just announced the launch of its Government Information Solutions Division to provide fraud, identity authentication, data breach response, and investigation services to help government agencies manage risk and reduce costs. Jonathan McDonald, Executive Vice President of TransUnion's Government Information Solutions Business Unit.
TransUnion's proprietary sets of credit, criminal, and public data, coupled with flexible analytics, help government agencies make informed decisions and ensure citizen safety.
Federal spending has skyrocketed, and government agencies are making significant investments to protect data entrusted to them.
TransUnion is well positioned to help government agencies identify fraudulent activities, detect when they are occurring, and investigate, prosecute, and prevent them from happening again.
For more, visit TransUnion's government blog feed or transunion.com/government.
Attention, this important consumer alert is brought to you by CBC Funding. Hey, did you know it's possible to receive upfront money from your structured settlement, annuity, or pending lawsuit? It's true. If you are receiving a structured settlement spread out over time and you want a lump sum amount delivered immediately, then you need to call CBC Funding. With your cash today, you can pay off credit card debt, pay medical bills, fund your education, or improve your home. You don't need to wait. Structured settlements are commonly used to resolve personal injury lawsuits. Annuities, they're designed to spread payments out over 10 or 20 years. For many of you in need of money today, this simply does not work. If you have a structured settlement and you want cash now, call CBC's Settlement Funding. Here's the number: 800-303-4607, 800-303-4607, 800-303-4607.
All right, guys, thanks for hanging out with me today. Remember to follow me on Twitter at Ryno On Air, or you can like us on Facebook, facebook.com/The Ryno Report. So we're talking about this Gwynn Carr joined by U.S. Representative Hakeem Jeffries, and they're saying that Daniel Pantaleo, the officer who was involved in the arrest of Eric Garner, shouldn't make the kind of money he makes. Shouldn't make it. Because he killed somebody, and he shouldn't make it. I mean, I'm sure, I'm almost positive they cashed their check they got from the state, or from the city, for $5.9 million. I'm pretty sure they cashed that one. Well, it seemed like a bit much, right? To me, maybe, because when you get a payout or a civil suit or something like that, it's supposed to make up. You're supposed to receive tort, is what it's called. What makes you whole again, right? So, it's what the person lost, or what you lost, their income over the course of 30 or 40 years, whatever it may be. So let's do the quick math here. Let's say that Eric Garner sold loose cigarettes, all right, a pack for $10. He's overcharging, but it's $10 a pack for the sake of whole numbers here. There's 10 packs in a carton. That's $100 a carton. Let's say he does pretty good business, all right? Sells a carton a day. That's $100 a day. But he takes off weekends. We can't overwork ourselves. Can't overwork. So $500 a week. That's $26,000 a year. Let's say he lives 40 more years. And for a guy that weighed the amount he did, that's probably pushing it. But let's say 40 more years. That's $1.04 million. Now, since he is such an entrepreneur, then he should actually have to pay a capital gains tax here too then, right? So about $500,000 is where we land. That's about where we land when we say there's a wrongful death and we're making somebody whole again. assuming what he was doing wasn't illegal, correct? Well, we'll just say it's de Blasio's New York. These things are allowed now, okay? No more quality life crimes in New York. So you got about 10 times what the payout should have been, but you're complaining that a police officer in a union who works overtime is making too much money. He'll never make the amount you made, and he has to live with the fact that he killed somebody. That's not easy to do. She says if it was somebody else, they'd be in jail. They'd lose their job, the whole thing. But because he's a cop, he's above the law. I wonder if she applies that same logic to Hillary Clinton. You think it goes there? I doubt it. I doubt it. Hakeem Jeffries would not be staying next to her if her political persuasions were that way. Well, if it was anyone but a cop, you wouldn't have gotten $6 million. That's all I got to say about this. Absolutely. This makes my blood boil. This guy's trying to get on with his life. He's not even, no criminal charges, nothing. He may face some federal charges or something of, like a hate crime or something. They'll never be able to land that one. Never, not in a million years. He was doing his job. He was responding to a call. You'll never be able to land that on him. Maybe some departmental charges are coming. Unreal. War on cops. Thanks, Obama. All right, let's turn to Donald Trump. Donald Trump heads to Flint, Michigan yesterday. Now, before we get into this rudely interrupted speech he was doing, he had one of the best lines I have ever heard from a presidential candidate yesterday. This was a good one. He said there was a time when cars were made in Flint and you couldn't drink the water in Mexico. Now, cars are made in Mexico and you can't drink the water in Flint. Boom. Drop the mic and walk away. That's the best line he said yet. Who knows if he came up with that or someone else? Who cares? Who cares? It's a great line. But before he was able to deliver that line at a speech later in the day, he visited this church. All right? This Bethel United Methodist Church. And he was there to help praise them for the work they've done, helping people through the Flint water crisis, which, by the way, is an absolute atrocity. There should not be brown water in this country. With the amount of money we pay in taxes, the amount of resources we have, nobody should be drinking brown water. But he goes there and he kind of gets into his little speech, right? They all stump. They stump wherever they go. And they're there to thank this church for helping out and doing what they do, and the reverend for doing what she had done to help people through this crisis. And he says, but, Hillary Clinton's failing policies and da-da-da-da-da. And she jumps in. She goes, Mr. Trump, I invited you here to thank us for what we've done in Flint, not to give a political speech. I can't even get the words out. And he goes, oh, okay, sorry. And he goes right back on message. I mean, he kind of chuckled about it. Some people in the back of the room clapped. Go figure. But was this whole thing set up? Was it staged? It kind of sounded like it. Her posts on Facebook before this all happened, she says, he will not use us. We will educate him. And then she proceeded, after this thing was over, to call all of the alphabet networks in the area to do interviews and say, look what I did. I interrupted Donald Trump. He was going to say bad things about Hillary, and I didn't let him. I kept him from saying bad things. And she would tell anyone that listened. Her name is Reverend Faith Green Timmons of the Bethel United Methodist Church. Now, no one is saying what they did wasn't good. A lot of good stuff there. But, it sounds like a setup to me. I mean, it almost sounded like, it looked like if you watch her on the side of the room, she was waiting for the time. And then she kind of faced the camera and put her hand out. Trump had to chuckle. Now, give Trump some credit here. Great restraint. Do you think if this was the primaries, let's go back to March, he would have had this kind of restraint? Not a chance. Not a chance. So, he kind of laughed it off, and then he goes on Fox and Friends this morning and says, you know what, she probably planned it. And it is what it is. He didn't give it a whole lot of, merit, but it did look very planned. Very, very planned. All right. So that's what happened in Flint. But that line about cars in the water, that's a good one. That's a real good one. Now, I'm sure there are people, maybe Reverend Timmons is one of them, that have a problem with Donald Trump surging with the African-American vote. She may have a problem with it. Who knows? A lot of people do, but LA Times, he's up to almost 20% today with the African-American vote. 20%! That's more than now Romney, McCain, and probably Bush 04 combined. He's doing real well there. When we come back, I want to talk about some of these medical letters we have. Lots of doctor's notes for skipping gym. We also have some new polls to talk about, a couple of national polls. We got a couple of state polls, swing state polls, things that shouldn't be swing states. And then, which network do you think is up and coming? Which is the network you think is the biggest network, cable network in the country, and who's falling like a rock? We'll be back.
It started at bunko night. A little tickle in my throat, says Sandra. Then comes Colin barking like a seal. That cough, that's the flu. And then it spreads to Edna, to Wiley, to Marjorie. But when it comes to your door, you won't be answering because you got your flu shot at Rite Aid, where they care about you and your health. So while they're seeing doctors and sweating through fevers, you'll be teaching your granddaughter the 2-deck shuffle. Shield yourself at Rite Aid before it's too late. If you're over 65, the CDC recommends flu and pneumonia shots. No appointments necessary, and they're free with Medicare Part B. Rite Aid. With us, it's personal. Flu vaccines available while supplies last. Age restrictions apply in some states. See pharmacy for details.
I've been teaching organic chemistry for the last 17 years, so I'm pretty good with complex calculations. But when I started thinking about my retirement, I was pretty stumped. Luckily, I have TIAA as my financial partner. Together, we retrosynthetically analyzed my financial future, which is organic chem speak for we figured it out.
Your personal success takes a financial partner who values it as much as you do. Learn more at TIAA.org.
You order a glass of your favorite Cabernet, fresh asparagus, hollandaise on the side, a filet, medium rare. You unfurl your napkin with a flair, close your eyes, and prepare to listen. Ah, there it is. The sweet music you long to hear. The sizzle. The sizzle of a Ruth's Chris steak.
The most magnificent, corn-fed prime beef. Broiled to perfection at 1800 degrees. Some call it a sizzle. We call it an anthem.
As the waiter approaches, you think, is this one mine or that one?
Ruth's Chris Steakhouse. Like Ruth always said, life's too short to eat anywhere else.
Make a reservation online at ruthschris.com or by calling 800-544-0808.
All right, guys, thanks for hanging out with me today, Thursday, for the Ryno Report. Catch all of our old episodes on iTunes, TuneIn, Spreaker, Stitcher, Podbean, iHeartRadio. And we're always streaming live on Red Nation Rising Radio, the Liberty feed, and replay on KLRNradio.com at midnight. All right, so let's put our doctor hats on here for a second and dissect some of these health letters, medical letters, doctor's notes, whatever the heck these are. Now, I think we've heard more from Dr. Lisa Bardak than I've ever cared to hear from her. I mean, like a lot lately. She says that Hillary Clinton, after examination, is in excellent mental condition. This is supposed to dissuade those people who feel maybe there's an MS issue or a Parkinson's issue or something neurological. Well, it didn't work. And I think she chose her words very, very carefully. Mental health and neurological health are two different things. You don't go to a mental health professional if you have migraines. You go to a neurologist. So when she says excellent mental health, all that means is maybe she's not bipolar, maybe she's not depressed, maybe she's not anxious. Those are mental health disorders. Parkinson's is not a mental health disorder. It's a neurological condition. I'm not saying she has that. But she chose the words very carefully, and you have to dissect this stuff because that's how the Clintons operate. They operate in the gray area. So you have to dissect what they say. Don't think for a second this note came out without the okay from Uma Abedin and Jake Sullivan and Cheryl Mills and the rest of her, merry idiots. Everybody had to okay this thing from the president on down to the janitor at her headquarters in Brooklyn. everybody. She says, my overall impression is that Mrs. Clinton has remained healthy and has not developed new medical conditions this year other than a sinus and ear infection and her recently diagnosed pneumonia. So new. All right, so maybe she's had some conditions for the years past. That's everyone takes that word, new. I get it. Okay, so maybe there's something there from years ago. I think we could all agree something is amiss. Something's amiss, but they're not going to tell you in the note. They're not going to say, oh, well, she has severe head trauma, and they're not going to say that. Every doctor's note that comes out says how great they are. They say she's on Levaquin now to treat the pneumonia. Her blood pressure was 100/70. I guarantee you it wasn't 100/70 when Lazy Legs couldn't get into the van there on Sunday. Her heart rate was 70, 189 cholesterol. All right. So, sounds like we just looked at whatever the how to be a doctor for dummies book, what the acceptable ranges are, and we just threw that in there because it's a snapshot. It's a snapshot. It's like any picture, any poll. It's a snapshot of 1 second in time, or less than 1 second in time. So, at some point, they probably got her stuff down to these acceptable levels and said, well, as a doctor, I can say that. So, it was there. I can say it was there. Now, Trump was on the Dr. Oz show, and I didn't see that. I'm sure we'll hear all about it in the next couple of hours. He was going over his health stuff. I don't know. Who do you think is healthier? Come on, really? Like, are we even talking about this? Who do you think? Who looks 150 years old and who looks damn good for 70? I mean, make the determination right there. All right. Let's talk about some polls. We got some polls to go over. We got the, Rasmussen. Oh, first, LA Times. LA Times, Trump up by 6. The only notable improvements here, 20% of the black vote for Trump, and Hillary is only up 6 points on perception of who do you think will win. She was up 17 points 2 weeks ago. So people are starting to come around to the fact that she might win. So Trump is up again. So that's 8 points since Sunday. 8 points for Trump. She's off the trail. It's easy to gain points when you're off the trail. We'll see if this trend continues. So Rasmussen, Trump 42, Clinton 40, Johnson 7, Stein 2. Those two are falling off the map except for in Colorado. Clinton led this poll 43-39 last week. So she's down 3, he's up 3. Clinton has 74% support of Democrats. Trump has 76% among Republicans. Both very low, but they're always low in Rasmussen. It's their sampling. They always have low support numbers. Clinton is trailing Trump among unaffiliateds 36-32, so Trump has a 4-point advantage here. This is 1,000 likely voters from September 12th to 13th, so we're starting to see these post-September 11th polls start to come in. And I said on Monday, you're going to see them Thursday, Friday, into next week, and we're seeing them. We're seeing that the big swings for Trump, 4, 5, 8 points in some cases. Let's see. She has an advantage with moderates here, 45-31. That's why Trump gave that child care speech the other day. He's trying to appeal to moderates. We can talk about that tomorrow. It's a whole separate issue. I'm not altogether against it, but there's a different way to get that money, in my opinion, than taxing the business owner. All right, so that's the Rasmussen poll. That's the LA Times poll. CBS poll. All right. We are 44 for Hillary and Kane, 43 for Trump and Pence. Both have 84% of their party support. Trump wins the crossover by 2. This is down. So she was, on July 16th, has had a 7-point lead. She's down to a 1-point lead here. With likely voters, including leaners, she's up 2, but that's kind of a garbage one. People who have made up their mind about Clinton, 94% of her supporters have made up their mind. 92% of Trump supporters have made up their minds. Is Clinton topping at 94? Close. He has some wiggle room, not much though. All right, when you add in law firm of Johnson and Stein, it's tied up 41 all. That's an advantage, and Donald Trump is up with independents 4 points. 4 points up with independents, so he's doing really well there. He's up 3 points in the head-to-head with independents. I got news for these outlets. They're not real happy about it because this is using the 2012 model. CBS used the 2012 model here, and that's with a higher Democrat turnout, and you still have Trump right there within a point. Now, we learned about the Bloomberg poll yesterday that used the 2004 model, and it pissed off the Hillary camp pretty good. We have a couple more polls to get to when we come back. Hang in there, guys. You're listening to the Ryno Report on CRN Digital Talk Radio. So you've missed the healthcare deadline and don't have any form of healthcare? Liberty HealthShare has the answer. Liberty HealthShare offers an affordable healthcare option that allows Americans to enroll any time of the year. For those of you who have already enrolled but just aren't satisfied with what you've chosen, there's still hope. Liberty HealthShare allows Americans to control, manage, and direct their health care, yet still be in good standing with the Affordable Care Act. Members are exempt from the tax penalty and mandates imposed on individuals for not having health care insurance, thus giving you freedom from insurance. Liberty HealthShare empowers their members by giving them the ability to choose any doctor or hospital across the nation. Memberships are for individuals, couples, and families, offering a variety of options to best suit an individual's medical needs. If you're a freedom-loving American like myself, looking for contract-free health care, then this is for you. For more information on how to enroll at any time of the year, call 855-585-4237 or visit libertyhealthshare.org to request a free estimate. Do it today.
Let me take just a moment or two, if I may, and talk about a great place to eat. That's right, for you folks anywhere in the eastern San Fernando Valley, drop into Bob's Big Boys. That's right, in Sun Valley at 8274 Sunland Boulevard. Now, everybody remembers the name Bob's. They're getting bigger and bigger every day. And little old Bob carrying the hamburger in his checkered overalls is the same Bob that you remember from back through the years. And, of course, if you want to go in for a great lunch, remember their classic burger, the original double-deck hamburger combination. Delicious 100% pure ground beef in 2 patties with American cheese, lettuce, and our famous Big Boy special sauce. The name is Bob, and I think when you go in, you'll say, by golly, I'm sure glad that I found this restaurant because it's good for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. They've got all kinds of things, and all you have to do is remember. Bob's Big Boy in Sun Valley at 8274 Sunland Boulevard. It's a great place to eat.
Mortgage rates are at all-time lows. If you have not refinanced your current mortgage in the last few years, you could be losing thousands of dollars a year by paying too high of an APR. And the place to call is LendingTree to find out how low you can go. We can match you with lenders offering some of the lowest rates APRs available. Some APRs are lower than 3%. Imagine how much money you can save every month if your current mortgage is at 6% or higher. And all it takes is one free call to LendingTree to match you with a lender who may be able to lower your current home mortgage rate. Learn how to potentially save thousands by refinancing your current mortgage. Call LendingTree right now. NMLS 1136.
800-628-5067. 800-628-5067. 800-628-5067. That's 800-628-5067.
All right, guys, welcome back to this last segment of today's Ryno Report. We're doing a little polls, some poll dancing right now. They're definitely swinging in Donald Trump's favor. Some of that has to do with the fact that Hillary has been off the trail for 3 or 4 days. Let's not kid ourselves here. We knew this was going to happen. Now, it's can she come back or does he start to take off from here? Staying on message, staying on prompter. This is what we'll see now in the next 10 days. We predicted what was going to happen now. Now we got to watch the next 10 days. And then it's really crunch time. And 11 days from now is the first debate. That could be the make or break for either candidate. All right. Ohio, this is CNN ORC poll. Ohio, Trump up 5, 46-41. And in Florida, Trump up 3, 47-44. Notable about this poll is 2 things. Trump has the white voter in Ohio by 22 points and in Florida by 29 points. And also, both candidates see 90% support from their own party. That's pretty good, but that's got to scare Democrats because registration numbers over the last 18 months are much lower for Democrats in Ohio and Florida. So that's got to scare them a little bit. They're probably happy that they're 90%, but that's not actually a good number for them. The fact that Trump is up that high. We also have a Monmouth poll out of Nevada. 44 for Trump, 42 for Clinton. So, again, we knew Nevada was going to be a swing state. Clinton did have a good stranglehold on this state for a little while, but not anymore. Not anymore. Republicans, 88% support for Trump, 90% support among Democrats for Clinton, and independents have shifted now. Trump is up independents here, 43-29 over Hillary, whatever her name is. So, that's, big numbers, big jump since July in this poll. Trump's up 3, Clinton's down 3 since July. People in Nevada starting to come around maybe. And this is a Monmouth poll. Generally a pretty good poll. Good sampling, good even sampling. September 11th to 13th, 406 likely Nevadians. Nevadians? I don't know. Someone will correct me. Monmouth, one of the better polls out there. Monmouth, Q poll, Rasmussen, LA Times sometimes. Those are the better polls out there. So good news for Trump there. Better news here, the Reuters Ipsos poll. Nobody saw this coming. Nobody. I saw this and I almost fell off my chair. Trump has a 2-point lead in Colorado. 2 points, 43 to 41. Holy smokes. Holy smokes. He was down 12 points in this poll in early August. And he was down 17, 18 points in some other polls in early August. And then he was down 8 points, and then he was down 5 points. And there's a couple of polls that have him up now in Colorado. That's all because of the independents. That's also because of Gary Johnson. Colorado has a very high percentage of libertarians who vote libertarian in that state, and a lot of them are younger. So Gary Johnson is definitely taking votes from Hillary, and that's very, very evident in this Colorado Ipsos poll. But Trump up 2 there. All right, so those are the state polls, and every day is kind of been poll dancing with only 54 days to go. All right, last thing on the agenda today. We'll do the immigration thing tomorrow, but Fox News was the most watched daytime cable channel from September 5th to September 11th, doubling CNN and MSNBC. They're fighting it out for 2, 3, 8, 9. They are tanking. Fox averages 1.29 million during the day. The other two, they average about 650,000 during the day. And they fluctuate back and forth. Primetime, Fox News is number 2 overall. You know to who? ESPN. ESPN with all of their college football and the lead up to last week and the week 1 and week 2 in college football. Fox News still number 2. Wow. Big numbers, 2.2 million primetime viewers on average. And if you guys like Fox, you can watch Perino and Steyerwalt now on the weekends. That should be a real barrel of monkeys. All right, guys, hope you had a good time. As always, a huge thank you to those serving our country at home and abroad. A big thank you to those in the law enforcement community, especially Phoenix. Thank you for all you do. Keep up all the hard work. We all depend on you. God bless all of you. God bless all of your families. And until tomorrow, have a great day, everybody. I'm the Ryno, and I'm out.
I'm back in New York.
In these uncertain economic times, you've got to do whatever you can to save money. One of our biggest expenses can be our cars, especially when unexpected repair bills hit. Not anymore. If you own a vehicle with less than 130,000 miles, is less than 12 years old, has a warranty about to expire, or even no warranty at all, you could stop paying for car repairs. Roadside assistance, towing, and rental coverage are all included. Don't wait for the next repair. Make one free call right now to see if you qualify. If your vehicle is less than 12 years old, has less than 130,000 miles, even if it's out of warranty, paying for car repairs can become a thing of the past. Call us right now and get your car protected before your next repair bill hits. Get protection and no more repair bills. Call 800-696-1030. Again, 800-696-1030. That's 800-696-1030. 800-696-1030.
You are listening to KLRN Radio, where liberty and reason still reign.
All writers are prone to becoming so attached to our characters and stories that we struggle to see why a passage may not be working. It takes another set of eyes to help us nurture our writing to full maturity. At Black Wolf Editorial Services, we strive to enable writers to develop and grow, shaping stories into masterpieces that can stand the test of time. Editing services are provided for all genres and all age categories. Services range from critiques of the short story through to the line edits of the full-length novel and copy editing for those preparing for publication. We also offer assistance on generating a writer's bio for your websites, as well as help with those book blurbs and promotional material. We won't abandon you to the masses. We want to celebrate with you in your successes. Black Wolf Editorial Services, nurturing your writing into maturity. For a full list of services and prices, visit us at blackwolfeditorial.com.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. Do you feel like you're losing control over your finances? If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, we can help you take back control. The IRS is the largest and most aggressive collection agency in the world, and they can seize your bank account, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Take control of your tax problems now by calling the experts at Tax Mediation Services and take advantage of the Fresh Start program and new laws that may allow us to negotiate a settlement for the lowest amount possible. Our team of tax attorneys and enrolled agents can stop collections and get you protected so you can take control of your financial future. Tax Mediation Services is accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Call now for a free case review and a price protection guaranteed quote.
Call Tax Mediation Services now at 800-610-9050. That's 800-610-9050. 800-610-9050.
KLRN Radio has advertising rates available. We have rates to fit almost any budget. Contact us at advertising@klrnradio.com.
This is Slickery Trigger for Rebel Road Tactical. With proper care and feeding, your pistol will be ready when you need it, there to save your life. Shouldn't your gear be that good? Whether you need a holster for comfortable everyday carry or a tough-as-nails holster for your next training course, Rebel Road Tactical has what you need. Check us out on the web at rebelroadtactical.com.
Tired of paying outrageous prices for Viagra? Well, we have great news for you. Now you can finally get Viagra at huge discounts. Healthy Man allows you to save up to $500 on Viagra. Why pay U.S. pharmacy prices of $15 per pill or more when you can get Viagra for less than $3 a pill? Call today and get 40 Viagra pills for only $99. This can cost as much as $600 at your local pharmacy. You can't afford not to call us. If you want Viagra at the lowest prices, never pay $15 a pill pharmacy prices again. Get Viagra for less than $3 a pill. Call 1-800-516-7602 today and save up to $500 and get 40 pills for just $99. Healthy Man is fast, easy, and affordable. Operators are waiting at 1-800-516-7602 to take your call right now. Call 1-800-516-7602. That's 1-800-516-7602. Again, 1-800-516-7602.
Is debt beating you down? You need discipline. You need the Debt Ninja. If you've been caught in a financial trap and need to be set free, then you need the Debt Ninja. Want to stop those harassing collection calls? Start saving thousands in interest and fees and get out of debt fast? Then you need to call the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja will find the best companies across the country that will help you consolidate all your bills into one easy payment, reduce your payments by 30 to 50%, and get you out of debt fast. If you have unsecured debt of $10,000 or more, such as credit cards, loans, or medical bills, call the Debt Ninja for a free 15-minute consultation.
Call 800-826-1246. 800-826-1246. That's 800-826-1246. Call today.
The Debt Ninja.